Tuesday morning. Took a zero at Laughing Heart Hostel here in Hot Springs yesterday. I am taking the stairs now, which are the AT, back down into town. Stop at the Smoky Mountain Diner for breakfast and then hit the trail. There was comments about my sound and not being able to hear very well, so I got wired up for sound today, and I'm using my earbuds and the mic to see if it helps. It'll at least keep the microphone at a standard distance from my mouth, and we'll see how that works. So I will check in with you from the diner and we'll walk through town together. This is where the trail comes out of the woods down from Laughing Heart Hostel, and road crossing. And the sidewalk is marked with the AT symbol. And there are blazes throughout town, but there's AT symbols, you know, all along as you walk through. So, all right, down the hill a little ways is the Smoky Mountain Diner. Ate there yesterday, amazing. Definitely going back there today, but will not be eating any of the hiker meals. It was so big. Walking through town, I could update you a little bit on yesterday. I hiked into town on Sunday, Mother's Day, and then pretty much took it easy the rest of the day. I got up yesterday, came down, ate breakfast, walked down to the Outfitters. One of the guys I've been hiking with was interested in a lighter pack, and I kind of helped him pick a Exos 58, because that's kind of my choice for a summer pack. I'm looking to shed weight. At this point, I have every single thing I have with me inside my pack. I have nothing strapped to the outside, and weight-wise, I'm down to a comfortable weight for the Exos 58. So, kind of starting to think about that. But I'm going to add a picture. Sorry for the grossness, but I was sitting there at the library, because the library in town has the very best Wi-Fi, and I caught a calf cramp, and it's a pretty gnarly looking thing. So here's the picture. And once I worked that out, it was time for some hydration, some potassium, you know, everything else. So I decided that hanging out yesterday would be a good idea. Not to mention it was 90 degrees and 99% humidity. Today it's 81 degrees and 99% humidity, but 10 degrees cooler, and I think it's going to rain this afternoon, later this afternoon. So, and it's cloudy, so I'd rather hike in cloud cover than the bright beating sun. But anyway, all right, almost to the diner. I will check in with you more in a bit. That is probably one of the absolute best breakfasts you'll find on the entire AT, and it's co-located with the Dollar General for resupply if you decide not to stay here, or if you come into town early or midday or so. I don't think they're open late, but definitely awesome food, awesome service, and they're closed on Sundays. All right, more after breakfast. All right, breakfast was delicious. This is the building right here, the Dollar General, and the route as it goes through town. It's a beautiful little town. A lot of history. There's a very large motorcycle tourist presence, I'm sure, for all the mountain roads that are up here. So I'm gonna duck into the Dollar General for a moment. These are the roads that run through town. Up the road there is, I guess that would be 70 west, and 25 north goes to up to the Laughing Heart Hostel, which is up on top of that hill up there. A couple of through hikers up ahead who got resupply at the Dollar General. All right, the Hot Springs Rafting Company right there. Pretty cool setup. And down through town there, across that road tracks up ahead. We'll cross the river here shortly. And this is the Hot Springs Welcome Center. I'm gonna stop in there. It's the Spring Creek Tavern. Food is awesome. Sits and overlooks the creek. Very peaceful. And this is the Bluff Mountain Outfitters right here. They are closed today. This is the road after you cross the railroad tracks, heading out of town. Hot Springs Resort there. Mountain, we're going to be heading up right there. All right, that is the White Blaze heading across the French Broad River. Pretty decent flow. Peaceful. And look at that place up on the hill. That's good living right there. Pretty interesting. Nantahala Outdoor Center property. River access. I'll have to take a look and see where this is on the map. But I don't think we can get to the NOC that way, because that river is, oh, maybe we can. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. That is a pretty cool, because I'm definitely, I think, going north that way, so the NOC is south of us. So this may be where they put in for one of their long rafting trips. If that's the case, that is pretty cool. All right, keeping on up the trail. Cheers. Okay, instinct serves me well. Because heading out of here, we're going southbound. So that river's flowing north. So this may be an exit point for some of the Nantahala Outdoor Center expositions, but I do not think you can put in here and get to the NOC. So, all right. Trail heads up through here. It's a pretty cool little camp. Silver Mine Trailhead. Appalachian Trail this way. And there's a blaze. We'll keep walking and find something more interesting. I'll turn the camera back on. Pretty sweet spot right there. Very cool rustic old place right here, overlooking the water. It's hard not to pitch a hammock and enjoy that sound for the next 3-4 days. Oh, I never get tired of that. Look forward to coming back here and doing some whitewater rafting. So I've made some negative associations this morning. The Nantahala Outdoor Center is synonymous with climbing straight up and straight out away from the water. If you continue on the side trail, the AT breaks off and goes up this. But there's some more campsites further down, right on the water. It's absolutely beautiful. So, all right, happy to be climbing because that means I'm making miles on the AT, heading up that way. The rapids that I filmed coming up. That is Hot Springs right there. Laughing Heart Hostel up on the north end there. Came down off of those hills through Hot Springs, across the river, and followed the river along until we started coming up. So it's beautiful. All right, continuing up the trail. All right, one more look at Hot Springs, and this probably won't do it justice, but that is the climb. Part of the climb coming up to this overlook, and it's very, very steep, and the footing is not all that great, so be extremely careful as you come up. And as you get to the top of the rock, trail continues off that direction. So we should have one more view of Franklin before we head on up. Still climbing up out of Hot Springs. Let's stop, take a little break. Had to take my earbuds out. I'm sweating terribly bad. Didn't get enough water. Still got a little over, I think, a mile and a half to the next water source, but it's hot and it's humid and going uphill, straight uphill. Sorry about that, but got some thunderstorms rolling in. I just got a signal, was able to check the radar, and looks like that system that came up through Florida and the Panhandle is making its way up here. The rains are coming up from the south, so keep an eye on that. I will throw up the rain flies necessary, or I don't know, put my rain jacket on, walk in the rain. We shall see. But I just wanted to check in. Also do another sound check to see if how the sound compares to when I use my earbuds, because I cannot hike with those things in. Just too sweaty. All right, more later. Cheers. Here is a video of the weather now, and then a forecasted projection of what the radar is going to do. So right now I'm still hiking up, but making a decision of whether staying out here is the right thing to do or not, because there's reported hail in some of the storm, and I don't know. I'm just going to kind of weigh my options with this. I'm only a couple miles out of Hot Springs right now. This isn't your typical afternoon thunderstorm. This is kind of the remnants of a subtropical system that made its way up through the Gulf, and it's probably got just a little bit more punch than your usual afternoon thunderstorm. But that forecasted model shows that the thunderstorms are going to dissipate by the time it gets up to me, and then I'll deal with like 1 or 2 lines of thunderstorms here. So next stop is water. I can't really do anything before Tanyard Gap, I think, is the next spot. That's 3 miles ahead, so gonna get there and continue. Right now I've got a good LTE signal, which is good. So that means I can keep an eye on the radar. I've got a couple of alerts set for lightning strikes and things like that in the area. So all right, just kind of sharing my thought process with everybody. And you know, it's when you're out here hiking, this is something you have to think about. And honestly, I don't know what people are going to do that don't have the technology or the tools. That just looking to make sure there's nothing coming up the trail behind me. You know, the tools to keep an eye on this thing, because you hear thunder, and without really knowing where it's going or how bad it is or whatnot, you know, you have to make decisions. So all right, that's it for now. I'll update you more later. All right, these guys are darkening up a little bit. Something got this tail off of a squirrel. So we either have carnivores capable of doing that, or I don't know what worse would be, a human being, but not something you see very frequently, a tail on the side of the trail like that. So keep my eyes out. This is the reliable spring, and that is it. It's not even hardly enough to flow across the trail. So that is my most reliable water for the next few miles. So it's going to take a little while, but I'm going to have to fill up. I'm happy to have water, don't get me wrong. Able to use my trekking pole to get the bag back there. order to fill it up. All right, here we go. Full bag of water. All right, that's a good idea of how much I'm sweating right there. All the sweat that runs down my leg with my pack. So, all right, I just got water a little bit ago, probably about 0.2 miles up the trail, but the rain is starting to set in. I've got a really good LTE signal right here, and check the radar, and things aren't looking great. So there is a fire pit. Got a nice little seat right there, and I got some good hammock and trees over there. So for now, I'm going to put up my rain tarp, and then we'll go from there. All right, taking shelter for the time being. Like I said, anything else up, just kind of see what this rain's doing. I just got a weather warning for the area saying that there was potentially 2 inches of rain coming. So just kind of see how this goes. It's only about 3 o'clock, so I still have some time to make some miles. But it's a beautiful campsite, and that hard to get water's down the trail that way about 0.2 miles. So if I did have to stay here, it's not the end of the world because there's water and I've got food, and yeah, it's a pretty nice little spot. So all right, we'll see how the weather goes. All right, so it looks like the rain has set in for the evening. It's there's thunderstorms all around, and just got a report that there's hail 5 miles away. So I went ahead and strengthened up the rain fly, extended this side so I get a little bit more coverage, and went ahead and hung the hammock, and just gonna ride the storm out tonight. It's gonna rain continuously on into dark, so rather than hiking this and be all wet and then try to set up and dry out later, I just went ahead and set up now. So we'll deal with the weather and the delay and go on with life. Everything is good. Got a great spot right here. So got my bear cable hung already. So once I'm finished eating, I'll hang my bag, and then I'll be all set for the evening. All right. Good demonstration of the footprint coverage around. The rain is awesome. On the side, it's extended out, so the ground's a little darker over here, I think, but got the Boy Scout method going on. Pack cover on and front side down, straps up. Looks like we're holding on pretty well. Hung the bear line right back there in that tree that's leaned over. Can't really see it now, but it's there. I kind of waited it out as long as I could. It's raining pretty steadily now, and apparently going to rain for, I guess, the next few hours. So I went ahead and set up shop. Ground's not saturated yet, but the quick video to show how I keep everything dry. So it's under my hammock. See the dry ground. I'm gonna hang that shortly. Pack, shoulder straps up. Oops. You can see the difference between the dry and the wet ground. All right. Pretty comfortable here. Not very far in. I'm getting picked up tomorrow because logistically I've got to get back to Atlanta to catch my flight to New York. So once I get done with my off-trail business, I'll be back, and I'll start back at I think Tanyard Gap and keep going north. So I will post this video tonight, and then what little bit of hiking I do tomorrow, I'll post another video as well, and then update everybody on as quickly as I can get back to the trail. I'll put an update video for that as well.